the liftoff and how historic this is. We have in studio Richard Kolko, we have Dr. William Downs, and of course we have Lois Tomey as well. Rich, let's start with you. I know that you're a Navy pilot and you're pretty proud of the Navy pilot's history for the folks who've walked on the moon.
I sure am. The first one and the last one, and 7 of the 12 that walked on the moon, and I'm sure several of the first ones that go in 2028 will hopefully be naval aviators as well. But right now you've got some astronauts sitting inside this capsule. They're waiting to see what happens. I know that we're concerned about a cancellation, but that's premature at this point. Right now there's time for the engineers to check out what this problem is, resolve it. That's either that battery or some sort of communications issue that just needs to be checked. These teams are not prepared to take off unless everything is perfect. There's no reason to push this thing outside of the envelope where there could be an issue with safety, not only for the astronauts, but for the aircraft or spacecraft, as well as any people on the ground. Russ.
All right, Rich, thanks. And just again, NASA has confirmed the 10-minute hold. Talk a little bit about this. They've had a couple of setbacks this afternoon, but they've been able to resolve these issues. They seem pretty resilient, and they seem to act pretty quickly, Rich.
They do. They've got the finest engineer team that you could put together on the planet working these problems. So you can expect that if there's a solution to be found, the men and women at NASA and with the contractor companies involved, they're going to find that solution. 10-minute hold, I'm looking up at the clock counting down again, so that's good news. When you see the 10-minute hold, it doesn't say how long place. That just once they start the clock again, it's going to start at 10 minutes. So it looks like they have made that solve that problem. They're still checking everything that they need to, but the clock, again, see 8 minutes and change.
CLS is go for crew access
back to you,
on
Russ.
retract.
Yeah, Rich, it's definitely exciting at this time. You can only imagine what the engineers and what the scientists and the trainers and the astronauts and everybody who put so many years of work into this are feeling right now. But the good news is the clock is going. And hopefully the flight will, there will be liftoff today, and we're going to see Artemis take flight. Bring in Dr. Downs one more time. Dr. Downs, talk about how
incredible moments, and we've got team coverage for you for all things Artemis 2.
Week News anchor Russ McCaskey's been live on the Space Coast tonight. Russ, I'm sure the adrenaline is starting to come down, maybe a little bit, but what was it like for people to experience this that close?
You know, it was absolutely remarkable. We had to wait just a little bit, about an extra 10 minutes, but once Artemis 2 lifted off, I mean, it was cheers and just a remarkable feeling. Joining us now is Rick Blackburn. He's seen a lot of these. He grew up in the Orlando area. And Rick, tell me a little bit about how, what you were saying earlier about it just never gets old.
I'm telling you, I grew up in Orlando. We'd run out before school started and watch it from the street level. You could see it back then. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
And then I worked for CNN for several years and got way up close, got to see them up close and everything. And I retired here in Titusville, and it never gets old.
Yeah.
It never gets old.
Obviously, you see a lot of the SpaceX ones go up. This is a little bit of a much bigger rocket, in fact. It's the largest one that NASA has produced. So how does that compare?
Well, anytime with humans on board, it's a different feeling, you know, after the shuttle tragedy.
Sure.
But SpaceX, it's every week, you know, like boom, our windows are shaking and everything. Yeah. But this was absolutely amazing. I think you guys got the best spot in the whole place.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was a great place to be. And I love that this is free. People can come here. They don't have to pay. You don't have to buy a ticket, those kinds of things. You can come to the park, but you need to get here early, and you gave us that tip.
Well, that's what you guys did. They're charging 30 to 60 down there, but,
right.
You know, it never gets old. I get the chills and everything, and it's amazing.
And there's a sense of pride, I think, especially when you have the crew on board. You have the 4 astronauts, because there's that you know, relief that things went so well.
And one from Canada, as I think.
Exactly. Yep.
But we need that right now. We really need a sense of pride in America. You know, like, look at us. Look at us, you know, like. I tell you, you guys picked a good day.
We did. We got quite the show. Rick, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We really appreciate all your advice as he helped navigate us around a little bit. And like he said, he was just so happy that all the tourists, all the people who came out for this were able to see it today. Rick, thanks again so much. All right, let's send it back to the studio. We're going to have more for you throughout the night right here on Wink.
Russ, thank you. And as we take another live look at the rocket here, we have got team coverage.
Wink News security analyst Rich Kolko joins us from the Wink newsroom now. Rich, tell us, at about this point in the mission, what are they doing?
Well, one of the most important things has already happened, and that is the solar arrays have deployed 18 minutes after liftoff. These solar came out of the capsule, and that's what provides the electrical power for the entire mission. Without those, they'd have a big problem. They wouldn't be able to complete the mission, actually. So there's 4 of them, and all 4 of them came out. What's important, so now the astronauts are getting settled in place. They'll be able to start taking off their travel spacesuits, getting into some more comfortable gear, and they'll start setting up the work that they need to do. They're going to be busy for the next couple of hours, running checklists, making sure everything is completely done, safety, security, communications. We heard that the GPS was all working. Those are all the systems that need to be checked. Anything that was causing a problem on the ground has been resolved at this point, so that's good news. So the issues are life support. Is everything working? Can they get out of their spacesuits next? That's important. And of course, communications and navigation. These are all the things that you learn. As an aviator, whether it's an airplane or a spacecraft, it's aviate, navigate, communicate. So they've got to navigate, know where they're going, and be able to communicate back to Houston. Just a few seconds after they took off out of Kennedy Space Center, we heard them transition to Houston. So they just pushed that button to light the candle, as they say, at the Kennedy Space Center, and all the command and control comes out of Houston, and that's where they're at now. So we'll see what's next, Russ.
All right, thank you so much, Rich. Well, we continue our team coverage tonight as we head back to the moon.